so that we don't say anything weird. Okay, so we should be live. So, to everybody on social media, to everybody on Facebook, Periscope, LinkedIn, and also YouTube, welcome this November lunchtime. I have the awesome privilege of being able to interview a young lady, Shewly Aktar. Some people may know of her. Some people would have heard of Shewly within the John Maxwell circles, but I'm sure a lot of people on my platform will think, who on earth is Shewly Aktar? Well, you're going to find out today. Shewly is a young lady. I won't steal her story. I will let her introduce herself in a few moments and share her story and tell you some thoughts about herself now and her plan for the future. But yeah, just welcome everybody again. I'm just going to ask you that when you see this on Facebook, when it's there, could you please share to your friends and invite your friends onto the media platform? It's going to be on recorded, and then it will be played back sometime later. So welcome. So yeah, Shewly, let me welcome you. Thank you for giving me some of your time today. I really do appreciate you, and what a beautiful smile you have. So, Shewly Aktar, let me just welcome you. Thank you for being here, and I'm just going to let you introduce yourself for a few moments, so the world can find out a little bit about this lady who's going to be talking to everybody today. So, Shewly, over to you, and thank you.
Thank you, Kate, for having me today here on your platform. Well, I do have a story to share, a vision to share, and I have been evolving as a leader over the past 8 years since I was 12. So I'm Shewly Aktar. I'm 21 years old. I'm in Portugal right now. Last year of my Bachelor of Business Management, International Business Management. I'm from Bangladesh. I left my country when I was 10 to 11 years old in 2010, seeking for a better life, seeking for better education through the foundation called American Foundation. So basically, American Social is a lady from Portugal who went to my country in 2005 with one of her flight. She was a Emirates cabin crew during that time. So she said, this is how she said, when she went to my country, she saw potential going to waste. She saw children like me working in the slum and not going to school, living a life that no child deserves to live. So she saw us as a potential going to waste, you know. So she came up with an idea of building her own school in my country in 2005, and that's how I got into educational system or educational world because of her. And I started going to school when I was 6. That was my first time going to proper school. I'm writing a book on my life over the past 6 years nearly. And there I explained about my Maria and the people who helped me to be who I am today. Because obviously without people's support, I wouldn't be here. And also many of my friends wouldn't be where they are today. I've got friends studying in Australia, US, UAE, Portugal, and I was in France recently for my second year of education from Portugal as an Erasmus student, let's say exchange student for a year. So I had all this privilege because someone like her came to my life when I was 6 years old, and she has changed my life, my family life, and loads more children in my country. I've got 17 to 18 friends in Portugal right now doing their bachelor, working remotely in the country, you know. They have sponsors, they have people supporting to make their dream into a reality. So because of these kind people that we have been, blessed to have them throughout our life, because of them, because of people like John C. Maxwell, by the way, he's been one of the biggest supporter of our foundation. And I had a personal sponsor since I was in grade 7, actually, Nabil Dal, who has given me his love, time, energy, support to finish my high school until grade 12 in Dubai. And then I had another sponsor who came to my life in 2018 when I was seeking for sponsorships to come to Portugal and pay my undergraduate. Dr. Said Farouk, and his family has been supporting me since nearly 3 years. You know, his family is wonderful. I met this guy because I made a 1 minute video on me and saying that I want to be the future PM and I want to study further so that I could educate myself and change the life of millions of people in my country. So my girls, my boys, my people doesn't have to, could have better life like everybody else in the world dream of, seek for. So this is my vision for my country that go back one day there, run the campaign, run the election, run the country. And since I was 12, I had been dreaming of this, and I have been evolving as to be the leader, to be the role model for my people, and run my country, make my country like UAE, America, Singapore, because 48 years ago, Middle East, uh, the country where I actually grew up, my teenagerhood was in Dubai, in UAE. That country has given me a lot, and Portugal, and I'm so grateful to these countries because Portugal given me a mother who gave me life, and UAE has given me the opportunity to relish, to grow, to evolve, you know, to be a better person with opportunities. Because of one gentleman, the ex-education minister, Sheikh Nayan, saw potential on us like Maria did 15 years ago. He saw potential on us 10 years ago. So 7 of my friends got student's visa in UAE history for the first time, who was not even 18 years old, who were under 18. So he came forward to give us a student visa for 7, 8 years. I was in UAE studying. Because of him, this made it possible because of some of the great teachers we had in my school who believed it on Maria's vision, who believed on her faith. They took the leap of faith on Maria and gave us scholarships. Made it possible to be in a school, to be in UAE school. So I'm thankful to many people throughout my life. I had people, you know, who said, "Oh, they're from the slums; they would not make it so far." I had people like, it doesn't matter where you're from; you can still be the person. You still can be who you want to be as long as you dream and as long as you work hard. You know. So I have been told to dream big since I was very young by Maria and also the ex-minister of education in UAE. So I took these opportunities seriously in life, made it work hard to do everything I can do in order to relish my life, improve my life back home, so that the cycle of poverty can be broken in my family and many more families in the future.
So,
We,
so
we
surely,
could,
you
yeah,
mentioned about your living in Bangladesh and then your encounter and your meeting Maria. Um, tell everybody who Maria is, because when you say there's a lady called Maria, people don't know who she is. Just give people a little bit of an understanding of who Maria is and where you were at that point when Maria found you and your
right,
paths actually crossed.
right. Maria had a very humble life. She grew up with adopted mother Christina, black woman, black widow woman, because Maria's biological mom had Alzheimer. So her mom left her in Lisbon when she was 2 years old and never came back to pick her up. So Maria grew up with the black woman with six more children. So Maria became the seventh in her family. She was a widow, a cleaner, and mother of seven. So Maria says all the time in her speeches or whenever she speaks to people, who can fit six can fit seven. So Christina became her mom, her adopted mom, when she was 2 years old, and since then she grew up with her. However, when Maria was 12 years old, her adopted mom Christina died because of a heart attack, and then she grew up with her adopted siblings. And when she was 18 years old, she left Portugal to Switzerland to France and learned the languages, and then went to UK. And then when she was 25 years old, she won the lottery, she said. Like getting a job with with the Emirates airline. That was her biggest lottery in life because she was working as a cleaner before that. She's a wonderful lady, beautiful lady, with a beautiful heart. So she found a job with Emirates and then she moved to Dubai. She was living her life. She was living her dream life. And then when she went to my country with one of her flight to Dhaka, she saw children on the street working under poverty. She wanted to make a change. Because she says it was a slap on her face that a Christina without education, without lots of money, without anything, but she was able to give her a life. So Maria thought, if she could do that, I can do it too. So that's when she started the project, like a project. So that was called like a project by that time, and then it turned into American Foundation in 2010. She told seven students to come to Dubai because Bangladesh is a third world country, and it's very different over there than the Middle East. Very different. Uh, children get married very young. They have, they get pregnant. We have lots of child labor working in a garments factory. They've been exploited by the well-known brand in the world to produce clothes, Western clothes, and get paid very, very little for their work, and their effort. So Maria wanted to give us a different life. She used to tell us that she had to work 3 years to put us on that plane for UAE. She already had that vision. She's a very visionary woman. She already had that vision that we were in Dubai with the Western clothes, going to school, you know, doing things, traveling around the world. She already had that visions in when she was flying all over the world after she met us. At the start, she gave us everything. Like we had a beautiful building where we went to study. We had teachers from all over the world. We had people visiting us, teaching us, spending time with us, like volunteering. Uh, we had computer center, dental, daycare center for even babies. We had the huge foundation in Bangladesh for the newborn until we were 18 years old, and it was going really well until the financial crisis, crushed our foundation. It was in 2008. This is when she had to, cut out costs and everything. My mom was there working as a cleaner in the foundation. She was serving us food, breakfast, lunch, all these nutrition type of food we were getting from the from her. Because of the people who were supporting the foundation, she was able to give us good food, good education, you know, spoil us with goodies all the time. She used to go visit us. We used to have a lot of parties when we were small. I remember we had today I think back and I realize, oh my God, how lucky I am to have her in my life because I had a normal childhood because of her. I didn't go to garments. I didn't, go be a maid or, I didn't get pregnant. I didn't get married. because of this woman. Children like me as young as 12, they get married, and that's it. Have kids and never go to school because they're always under this poverty trap. So because of her, I didn't go through the thing that millions of children in my country goes through. So I was like, damn, lucky in life. So, since I was 6, I really tell myself, oh my God, I won the lottery when I was 6 years old, the biggest lottery of my life. I don't need anything else because I was given quality education, world class education. So
So,
because of this
so,
one woman going from nowhere, you know, we have nothing real common. Like we're different in color even. She's white, I'm black. She's from Portugal. I'm from Bangladesh. She's not even my religion, my blood, nothing.
so do you? Obviously, your encounter with Maria has changed your life. It enabled you to um, gain an education that you may not have had previously. Um, how has that affected you now? Obviously, you say you've lived in France and you're back in Portugal now, and you've studied quite a lot. Um, what would you say to other young ladies who are in a similar situations to yourself? May not be in Bangladesh now, but there may be in other countries around the world. What would you say to those young ladies who say, "Well, I don't have a Maria in my life. I don't have someone who can sponsor me to get an education." You were lucky, they may say. What would you say to those young women, those young ladies around the world, and say, what advice would you give to them?
So my message to them would be like, dream, dream big. Mari didn't have education, formal education, but she still seek for a better life. She left her country when she was 18 years old to somewhere else for seeking for better life,
Mm.
like to Switzerland and then to France and then she went to UK. Always dream big. No matter your circumstance, time will pass, situation will change. Today is a bad day, tomorrow it might not be a bad day. It depends what you do with your 24 hours time. So Maria worked really hard when she was a baby because she didn't go to school. She went to until grade 4 because she stole a chocolate from our school, and these sisters, this very priest type thing,
Yeah,
you know. So they
the
told her, oh
nuns.
yes, I forgot the name that she used to say. So they told her, "Oh, you stole the chocolate. You're not allowed to come to school anymore." So she was kicked out of school when she was in grade 4, but just because she stole a chocolate.
Hmm.
Come on. So and then she never went back to school. So I am more educated than her, but she still, with no formal education, look what she has done to the world. She made a huge difference to my life, to hundred of my people back in Dhaka, back in here in Portugal, one in Australia, US, UAE. We are able to compete in the same market as the American students who has got a degree. We know we are able to compete with students all over the world with first class education. You see, she has put us in a place that we cannot be down. We cannot let we can't let ourselves down. She made us a fighter. So the people all over the world who are in the same situation as me today, they have to be a fighter. They have to wake up every day, chase their dream, and find, and then leave. If it's the country, they have to leave. They leave. People, always immigrating to other countries, seeking for a better life. They don't have to leave, but they can always dream big, make it come true. I understand. So society, families, siblings, all these things will put you down, will tell you things that not fair.
Yeah.
You will be under pressure. You will be told off. But listen to yourself. Is this what you want? Like I was saying to this earth the other day, you gotta talk to yourself. Only then you only then you will know what do you really want. Maria wanted a better life, and this is why she left when she was 18. She wanted to see more than Portugal, so she left.
So, what's the biggest thing since going to study in France and now you're back in Portugal? What's the biggest thing? What's the biggest lesson you've learned that has changed your life? That's going to have a massive impact on your future.
Is that I don't give up. I'm not a quitter. I don't quit. Yes, I feel down, but I don't quit. Because Maria told me many years ago that surely if you cannot run, walk. Cannot walk, curl, but don't quit. You have to constantly, moving, constantly move, constantly dream, constantly fight. Because there is no one else who will fight for you, for your dreams.
So, so you don't quit. You are getting a good education. Um, what's the next step for your life, Shewly? What's the next milestone that you've got to reach and that you've got to overcome?
I'm finishing my bachelor next year in July, and I told this to Maria already 3 years ago. In the morning, I get my degree, and in the evening, I fly to somewhere I don't know. Just go
Okay.
somewhere because I want to go somewhere so that I can go do my master's degree. So at the moment, what I have thought about it, moving to Ireland because they have my degree. I want to study masters in public policy. So I can be the prime minister. I learn about the policy maker. So I could be policy making
Yeah.
policies,
Yeah. Yeah.
understanding policies. So I have done the research. What do I need to do in order to become the PM? Okay, you need to study specific things. One of them is public policy, which can help me to be the person I want to be in 13 years time. So and then I eventually go do my PhD in political science.
Okay.
So, so my next steps is to go pursue my master's degree in Dublin, um, and I'm gonna find a way to do that. I have nothing in mind, nobody in my mind at the moment, but I'm gonna pack my bag, take the flight, and away.
Okay. So that will be July 2021. So what's the time frame? So you do your masters, would that be over 1 year or 2 years?
It's gonna be 1 year in Ireland, but if I go to US, it will be 2 years course.
Okay, so you do that for 1 year, say in Ireland. Then what are you doing after that?
Meanwhile, I'm gonna do a job in one of the embassies that I'm looking for, especially my embassy, like part time or after that I could get a job properly, like proper job.
Yeah.
And I do intend to work for UN. I have been looking into other opportunities. Go to US and work for UN.
Okay.
Be an ambassador. Be an ambassador for my country, help my country already. So my people already knows who's gonna be, who's coming in the country to need to lead them with with good intention.
So what's the process then in Bangladesh to become the prime minister that you believe you will be one day? How long does it take? I know in the UK there's certain processes you have to go through, certain things you have to do first in terms
I
of a
have to
political
join a
party and that.
party.
Yeah.
I gotta join a party. I just cannot go there and say I'm the PM. No, it doesn't work.
Okay.
I have to-
So what parties exist in Bangladesh? Do you know what party you'd go with? You do.
yeah, I know which party is there, but at the moment, Ami League is in power,
Okay.
so I might have to go join them. Help them their campaign and everything, and then eventually, you know, walk the ladder up.
How long will that take? Is that like a long process, or is that is that
Yeah,
1 year, 5 years, 10 year
I have to be
process?
the MP first. Like I have to be the ministers, And then if I, people support me, I'm qualified, I'm doing well. Like, like Jacinda and Ardern is the New Zealand Prime Minister.
Mhm.
She was working in UK, and then she was supporting Labour Party for many years since she was 18 years old. So she was part of the how do you say, the change, the movement
Yeah.
already. So she has walked her path up. So I gotta do the same. I have to walk my path up. So I gotta be perhaps the chairman or the MP of my region or one of the states that I have in my country. Let's say I just get elected for Dhaka,
Okay.
for the capital. So I have to be like, control of one place and then eventually make my path up. So I got to work on it. It might take me like 10 years, 15 years.
Okay. So when are you going to begin that process? Are you
No,
are you
I'm
going
done
to
with my
do a
PhD.
PhD? Are you going to do a PhD first?
Yeah,
You will. Okay. And
yeah. PhD
what
in political science. And
political
then I go
science?
back.
Okay. And where would you do that? Do you know how long?
It's a 4 years degree for sure. I don't know where at the moment because I'm just planning for my master's. But PhD is in my list to pursue. And I would like to go to US to do my political science.
Okay.
One of the reputed university
Yeah.
in the state for sure.
So you got a year in Ireland, 4 years maybe in the States. That's five
I
years.
haven't got into the university in Ireland. I'm preparing my paper. Like I
Yeah.
need lots of recommendation from my professors. Write me a letter of recommendation,
Yeah.
personal statement. I need to make sure I've got funds to pay for it. I don't have anything at the moment. I don't have the funds,
Okay.
so I might delay it depending on things. I'm trying to arrange. I've been gathering information. I've been trying to create, trying to earn an extra income. So since I'm writing my book and I want to publish it next year, perhaps by selling my book, getting in the international platform, for my book, I might be able to raise that money for my education next year.
Okay.
At,
So
at the same time, I do of course, I get a job because it's gonna be a expensive life in Ireland. It's not cheap
mhm.
there. So I gotta able to pay my bills, food, accommodation, clothing and transportation, all these things.
Yeah. Do
I'm
you
gonna
have
think of all this.
do you have family back in Bangladesh, Shewly?
Yes, I do. I have
Okay.
my mom, my father. I have got my two little brothers. They're
Okay.
not little anymore, actually. One is 17. The other one is turning 15 within 10 days.
Yep.
Uh, I have a niece. I have a sister. I have my brother-in-law. I've got entire family back in Bangladesh.
Okay. Are you
Mm,
able to go
mm.
back to see them often or not?
No. I haven't been home nearly 3 years
Oh,
since I.
okay.
So I do want to go back home perhaps next year before I just make my masters. I want to go see them because I really miss them. I really miss them. I haven't seen my mom for ages. I feel
Okay.
my brother are growing too fast. My God, can't believe them. They're growing too fast. I see their photos like, what's going on? This is not who I left. You know. So yeah,
So
I
you
gotta see them.
so you've got family left in Bangladesh. You're living in Portugal. You may go to Ireland to study if everything works out financially and things, and then potentially end up in the States, then back to Bangladesh. So you really do have a future mapped out for you, don't you?
My visions are clear as like water, Kate. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm going to do until 50 years old.
What made you so strong with your vision, though? If you're coming from an underprivileged start in Bangladesh, what's made you so focused on wanting to improve and get better, and to use the phrase that we hear quite often, invest in yourself.
Mm.
Why
I'm
why
investing in myself. True,
why
true.
what's made you so focused to do that? Because a lot of people don't care about themselves. Why are you so focused on you?
It's better to have a vision and have a plan and writing things down. So I write a lot. I write diaries. Even today, I write. When I was 12, 11 years old, Maria handed me a diary like this. She told me,
Okay.
Shuli, write what you do every day, before you go to bed. And that's how I turned my diary into a book, actually, because she gave me the diary and I started to write every night before I go to bed, what I have done throughout my day. And eventually, in grade 10, I turned my diary into a book. And that's how I came up of writing my book, my own autobiography. So the reason I'm so focused is because I've lived with many people, like people from all over the world, and they've got a different way of living. But most of them, they are so focused with timings, because I had people from Germany as host family, Norway, UK, New Zealand. They're so on time, British even. So I had to always be on time, for dinner, for lunch. Like in France when I was there last year, I had to meet family requirements. I had to cook, I had to be on the table, I had to take part in the family conversation. I had to learn the language, at least a bit, so I could communicate with the host mom and with the host dad, because they're quite old, like 78, 76. So I am always able to adopt to new things,
Mm.
new circumstance. It For me, it's not hard to adopt to new places. It's for me, it's so natural now that I can easily adopt myself, somewhere I never been ever. So I don't have the fear of not being able to adopt to changes, to people. I can do it easily because since I was 10 years old, I had been living with many different people, and adopting, learning from them. It's like I had the world coming to me and telling me, learn from me. So I did it. I was able to adopt to their family, rules, regulations, everything. So, and I was told many times, oh, what are you gonna do, what are you gonna be, because Maria took us to a lot of places, to traveling, and people ask questions, interview in the newspaper. So I kind of maybe learned that throughout the life, that you need to have a proper, proper vision or proper plan, or at least know what you do, so you're not lost. And Maria was always like telling things, whenever we're going out or whenever in the house, that it's better to know where you're going than not knowing anything at all. Because she even said that some people who goes to university for the first year, they might drop out because they're afraid of the thing that's happening. They're not able to cope up with it. But no, I was able to cope up with 10 different families for like 8 years. So I didn't have problem coming to Portugal, living by myself, in an apartment, or living with another student in the same house. Wasn't a big deal for me. It was like natural and normal because I had been doing this for many years.
So you, the circumstances that you've been in for the last few years have definitely formed who
Has
you are,
shaped me.
shaped you, formed who you, yeah.
Personality.
And obviously the people that you meet. Again, I'm gonna, obviously you're a young lady, a young woman. Just if there's one thing that you could say, I have three daughters. One of my daughters is at university.
Right.
My second daughter should be going to university September 21. So she's a
Mhm.
year behind. And then my youngest daughter, she'll be doing A levels starting in September 21. She's in a final year of school. So, what would you say to young people like that when obviously we're in the world where there's the coronavirus that everyone talks about? It's affected many companies, businesses, individuals, families. There's been deaths throughout the world. What would you say to young people, such as my own daughters, who say, "What's the point? You know, we try to succeed and everything goes against us and things are working against." What would you say to young people, young men, young women who are at that 17, 18, 19 years of age? What would be your advice to them? regarding their
Don't lose
future?
hope. Don't lose hope. I had to wait 1 year to come to Portugal to start my, undergraduate. I was desperate. I was desperate to seek for, higher education.
Hmm.
Don't lose hope. Fight every day. Fight. I will, I had to. I wanted to go to Germany actually with my host family, but the visa didn't. But the visa was rejected two, 3 times, and I had to stay in a hotel for 2 months. And then I went back to Dhaka. I started to working for the foundation as a coordinator for like 4 months. I still continue to apply. I still continue to seek for scholarships. I still continue to seek for sponsorships. Don't lose hope, even if it takes you 2, 3 years. Don't if this is what you're gonna do, then don't give up because time will pass, situation will change, the COVID will go away, everything will. Sooner or later it will go away. We don't know exactly when, but it will. It will not last forever. Come
Hmm.
on. So you have to be focused. You have to put your feet on the ground and be strong. Because sooner or later, if you do not do what you wanted to do, you're going to regret. And that will be the worst thing in the world that can happen to someone. Don't regret. It is the worst thing that you can do to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? Fail often. Cry if you have to cry. Scream if you have to scream. But do not quit.
Okay. So what makes you certain? What makes you sure that you will be the PM one day?
Because I will raise myself, educate myself, grow myself, surround myself with people same mentality as me, who will put fire in my dream and not water. And I'm gonna work, and I've been working. I get criticism already.
Yeah.
I get it already. Social media, sometimes I get text messages, comments. So I have been
Does
getting
that
this.
does that type of thing bother you or not?
I know it doesn't bother me because I know I will get even more in the future. So I'm just preparing myself. It's like this is a lesson I'm learning. It is a process I'm going through. So I took it, I said say it more if you have to say it. Don't keep it to yourself, you know? And then the next time I do it, I just go for a run. And then I put my, those negative thoughts, negative things out of my system. It's gone. I move on. I do exercises, I do push-ups, sit-ups, run, if I have to. When I feel very heavy on my body because of some people made me feel that way, I'm just like, oh, you're not important that much. I have better things to do than think of what you said. I just go with my running team, I run with them, I have fun, I stay focused, I read books that makes me feel better, that make me learn things, make me see things differently. I just recently watched a movie of Michelle Obama about I re- about becoming. I don't know if you know the movie.
No.
So I watched a movie. I think it was her biography that she was
Okay.
talking about her kids making their own bed in the White House. Yes, you gotta do things like I go clean my room, I cook, I go grocery, I study, I do projects, I talk to people, I have friends. I'm a normal person. I'm nothing different. Like I'm no different than other people. I'm no different than other university student. I do what they do. It's just that I just do extra work like beside my degree, which is like getting into interviews, talking about my dreams, writing my diaries, writing my book, learning new skills like ClickFunnels. I'm learning about group digital, how to make website, how to make videos, how to edit them, all these things, how to make content. So I'm not just learning, I'm just not going to school every day. No, I don't. I do many things. I go run, I do push-ups. I watch movies. I do a lot of things. Sometimes I just stay in bed. I'm just like other person, like normal girl, living my life. But except that I have the vision of becoming the PM. That is the exception I have.
Hmm.
And and I'm educating myself beside my degree, because my degree, of course, doesn't teach me to be the PM. It teach me how to make money
How
because of
many?
amazing.
Excuse my ignorance of a question, but how many people are in Bangladesh? How many? What's the population of Bangladesh?
170 million.
170 million, and we have about 75 million in the UK, I think, something like that. So you got more than more than double what we have over here, 150,
Yes,
170 million. So you got a lot of. How big is the country in terms of um, geography, mileage?
it's a very tiny country. It's very tiny. Uh, I'm sure it's smaller than UK.
Okay, I know in the UK we have a lot of Indian restaurants, but they're actually not Indian restaurants as such. They're Bangladeshi restaurants. Here's an interesting
Right.
one for you. And when the Indian restaurants were becoming more popular in the UK, they actually weren't serving Indian cuisine. They were serving Bangladeshi cuisine. But they didn't call them Bangladesh restaurants because most people hadn't even heard of Bangladesh. So they would call them Indian restaurants, and then
It's a
people
very small
accepted that.
country.
But now, if you look, you'll start to see that the restaurants are starting to be called Indian and Bangladeshi cuisine. So Bangladesh is becoming more heard of, so that people know that the country exists. Whereas
Yes.
before, obviously, um, it was India and Pakistan were the two main
Yeah.
Asian countries, not Bangladesh.
Yeah, because we were part of British India before,
Yeah,
like 200 years ago, and then in 1971, my country split up from Pakistan, because
yeah,
Pakistan was East West Bengal, and we were East Bengal. So like one
yeah.
country, but two different
Split.
split. Yeah, but then because of the liberation war, like the civil war in 1971, that's when we got separated, and we got our independence.
So yeah,
So
it's
that's how we became a tiny country.
yeah. I have a friend over here who's Bangladeshi. He came over here about 4 years ago to study.
Mm.
Great guy, great young man. Like I said before we went live, he loved cricket. So, that was the starting conversation with him to talk about the cricket. Um, England was supposed to be better than Bangladesh, but Bangladesh are rapidly improving. So
Yes,
they are getting a lot better every year. So they've gone
yes.
from what they call the second tier nation to towards the first tier in terms of sport, in terms of cricket. But no, I'm really excited for your future because you're incredibly focused on what you want to achieve. You're willing to pay the price to get there. Um,
I
and it
am.
looks like there's very little, if anything, that's going to stop you or stand in your way. Which is actually quite refreshing for a young woman in this world, and especially a young Bangladeshi woman. Even more unique. So it's wonderful that you would have that desire to lead the nation, um, and have a desire to have a positive impact on people, and you're willing to put the time and effort in now, so that you can get to where you want to be. What's so it's an honor to know you. Obviously, for those who don't know, we met only just a couple of weeks ago. I actually saw you, Shewly, when you came to the Maxwell conference in
Oh
Orlando.
wow.
I actually saw you there when John was talking about you. So I
Jeremy
knew
is
of you.
amazing. I love him so much, Kate. I see him when he's live. I love that guy so much. I can't tell you. He's the person I want to be in the future. The type of leader that I want to be in the future. He transforms people's life. And that's what I love about him. I read his books, I did his course, and I listened to his videos with Marco. Amazing people on the planet,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
No, they are incredible. John's first book that I read was back in 1989 for me, and I was a young lad. I was only 20, and I went into a bookstore, and I was just looking at books to buy. I never heard of John. I didn't know who John was, and I certainly had no interest in. Um, so I thought on learning about developing myself. I had no idea, but I was attracted to one of John's books, and I bought the book. And then, as I said, the rest is history. I've bought many since then, and part of the Maxwell team now. So, John is an awesome man. Mark Cole, equally, and the Maxwell team are stunning people all over the world, which is great. Now, are there any Maxwell team members in Bangladesh? Do you know
I
of?
doubt it. I doubt it. But I'd love to have that DNA going to my country.
Okay.
Oh, no. There is a gentleman from my country. His name is Kamrun Jaman. He's actually from the John Maxwell team. Yes,
Okay.
there is.
Okay. Because I know a lot of them all have, different nations across the world, obviously, and
Yes.
we connect in various different ways. But apart from yourself, I don't, Bangladesh is not a nation that I know of any Maxwell
Arti, I think
team members.
Arti work closely with the gentleman from my country, and they're helping the youth to be
Okay.
empowered, to seek for better opportunities. Yes, I spoke about this other day with her. And Kamrun Jaman, I know him since the Orlando trip, actually, too.
Okay. So he's doing, yes, yes, he's doing
Yes,
that work with the young people across
yes,
that network and that platform that he's creating over there. Yes.
yes.
Okay. That's wonderful.
Mm.
Are you going to be going back to an IMC?
I love to actually. I miss them so much. Some of my friends that I met they're really good. Like I have a mentor from John Maxwell team. His name is Matt. Every month we have a session together. Like he signed up to be my mentor. It's like, of course, why not? So a year later he came and he said, and he sent me an email and telling me I want to be your mentor. Like, of course, why not? Welcome to my platform. So yeah, I have been closely in touch with some of the people from
Wonderful.
IMC, and I would love to go back and tell them my progress if I get invited. Of course, that'd be
I'm sure.
amazing. Go back and give them more insight of what I have done and what I intend to do.
Surely it's wonderful. I'm excited for your future. If I only knew what you know now when I was your age, my life would be incredibly different. So it's fantastic that you've been able to learn a lot of these lessons, and you've been able to have the input that you've been able to have at your age. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for Bangladesh even more so. It'll be absolutely fabulous when you're able to return and achieve the goals that you want to achieve.
I want to be like Jacinda of Bangladesh. Jacinda Ardern, the New Zealand Prime Minister. I want to be like her for my people. I want to go to the street, hug my people, talk to them, share it, share each other ideas, view, able to talk properly, normal way, like she's been doing it.
Yeah.
She's my biggest role model at the moment. And Kamala Harris perhaps will become the next one.
Okay. Okay. So what would finally we'll have to bring this to an end shortly, but when the day comes and you are um, voted or elected as the prime minister in Bangladesh, what would you seek to change? He's a typical political question for you. What would you want to change first in the nation? What's important to
nothing
you?
Nothing more than these four things I want to work for my country. One, education, employment, infrastructure, and health.
Okay.
These are the four sectors I want to focus on, like intensively, intensely. I want to focus on them because I believe if my people has given the world class education, they
Hmm.
can seek opportunities in other countries, do, be an entrepreneur, do things by themselves. I don't need to be there for them. They can do things, without
Yeah. Yeah.
anybody's, being on the shoulder. Like I need to teach them how to fish, not not fish for them, but how to teach them how to fish.
Yeah. I understand.
Employment, Employment is because I've got a lot of people who are unemployed, especially the youth with lots of education, but still they don't get the opportunity because of the
Mm.
corruption, the poverty, all these things. So I need to create jobs for my people. My biggest asset is my people. I can transform my country easily if I use my people wisely in sectors and infrastructures. I need to rebuild my country. It's a mess. I need to put proper school, hospital, proper uh, all houses for my for my people, especially proper houses. I want my people to live in a proper house
Mm.
with a proper bathroom, proper kitchen, proper bed. I want children to have their own room, have their own bed, not sleep together. Everyone in the same room. Live like a human. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's the one of the things that really breaks my heart, or because I've been to their place. I've lived in one room with 7 people. I know how it is. So I want, and then when I moved to Dubai, I had my own room and my own table, study table, my bed, my cupboard. So I
Mm.
want my people to have those normal things, proper table to eat, you know,
You've got a
health. So health would be like, invest money on doctors,
yeah.
technology, because a lot of my people are sick and they spend a lot of money on their treatment and still not good treatment, I believe. So I need to put a lot of, nurses training and doctors and specialists, for like mental, abusing all these things, because
Mm.
this is high in my country, like the rape cases, they're quite high. So I need to able to teach my girls, you know, to
Yeah.
be, to yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work, but I have to do it.
It takes a strong person, or in your case, a strong woman, to be able to do that. I'm
Yeah.
sure from what you've been through so far, what you're going through, and the plans you have in place, I'm sure you will achieve. I'm sure you'll achieve what you've set your heart out to achieve. Um, I'll keep watching you and listening and looking out for you to find out how you go. Um, we'll do this again. We'll do the interview again. We'll do another interview if that's okay
Sure.
with you at a
Of
different
course.
time, and we can share other aspects of your story, to the people, to the people watching. I will put the YouTube video back on my profile on Facebook, and I'll copy you into that. Um, if you're wondering what I was doing when I've been looking away from the screen, it's because I've got my iPad here that I've been making sure things are going and working correctly. So, but Shewly, time has gone for today. I very much appreciate your willingness to speak and to come on and share with everybody. Let me just make this. Shewly's on Facebook for those who've been watching. You know, I'm not trying to make an appeal, but I am going to make an appeal. If anybody wants to support her, okay, if anybody wants to financially support her, then I would ask you, don't get in contact with me. Get in contact with Shewly directly. She's on Facebook, easy to find. Please message her and get in contact with her and see how you can help and support her, by sowing into her life and her vision and her plan that she's got. Not only will you be helping her, but you'll be helping an entire nation of people.
Thank you. For
So,
sure. Sure.
so people, for those who've been listening and for those who've watched, please get in contact with Shewly. Send her a message, Facebook Messenger, probably the easiest way to do that, and offer your support. And I'm going to be a little bit more specific. Don't just say, look, I'm here for you and all that stuff, but actually financially offer her your support, and see how you can support her, be a donor, help her with her studies, help her with her living expenses, help her with her university fees and the like, and let's get behind a young woman who has a vision to change not just thousands, but millions of people's lives. Not every day do you come in contact with someone like this. So, let's not waste an opportunity. Shewly hasn't asked me to do that for those who are skeptical. She hasn't asked me to for anything, even to say, "Oh, can you do this for me?" She's just been willing to come on and talk. So I'm doing this for her, and just say, "Listen, please get in contact with her, be a donor, support financially, and you will know that your money is going to good use, not only in her life, as I've said, but for the nation of Bangladesh." From my own personal experience, the Bangladeshi people that I've come in contact with are beautiful people, and I'm not just saying that just because it sounds good. Honestly, they are wonderful people. The Bangladeshi people that I've met in the UK. So let's support her. Let's help her. Okay, and message her and see what we can do to back the vision and the dream of this wonderful person. Is that okay, Shewly?
Thank you, Kate. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure, Shewly. We'll do this again. We'll do this on a different day at a different time, because then you'll get different people watching. But Shewly, thank you. Just greet the people to finish, and then we'll end the broadcast. So, give us your final remarks.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, for sure. And thank you, Kate, for having me and giving me a voice today. It means a lot to me. And I will appreciate if you guys became part of my journey and see it. Follow me on Instagram. Instagram is Shewly 2017. Just write that and you'll see my profile. And Facebook, of course, Kate just said, follow me on Facebook. See what I have been doing. I have done previously in the past. I'm writing my book. Soon I'll publish it next year before I graduate. And I'm making my website. I might need a week or even less than that. Almost done with it. One of my friends from Australia is helping me to create my website, my own website, so you can go and see my achievements, my record, what I have done so far since I was 10 years old, and why I want to be the PM. I've got videos, my posters, my photos, my journey. It's been recorded over there. Soon it will be out, and I will share it with Kate and Arthi too in the platform. So follow me in my social media to know more about me. Thank you so much.
Shewly, you're a wonderful person, and it's been an honor for me to spend an hour with you. So bless you immensely. Keep well, keep safe, keep focused. I'm sure you will. And I look excitedly to hear what happens next, and your journey. Just how I'll say this: just remember me when you're the prime minister. Just remember
A lot
me.
of people said that to me. A lot of people like, "Oh, don't forget me when you're in the prime minister seat." I won't.
Shewly, bless you, and with all my heart, keep safe, and we'll speak soon. Okay.
Sure, for sure, Kate.
Thank you, Shewly.
Have a lovely day.
You
Kate.
too. Bye.
Bye bye.